Welcome to the Kane and Day Show. Today is a very special day, and we'll get into that in just a second. I'm your host, Kane. You can find me at my socials at Twitter at Killing Kane, at YouTube at Killing Kane, and at Twitch at Killing Kane. I'm gonna kick it over to my co-host. He'll introduce himself, and then we'll get this underway.
Yeah, my name's Day. You can find me on Twitter at Realdaygaming1, on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch at Realdaygaming. Yeah,
So, what are we talking about today?
the NFL draft.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. We're going to give you our 32 picks on the first round, tell you who everyone's going to be taking. We'll go a little in depth on the guys, and we'll try to sound intelligent. So,
we are doing our best.
we really are. So I have you started off.
I mean, we got to start with Jacksonville,
Of
Number
course,
one
of
pick.
course.
They were,
Yes.
they had a lot of problems last year, kicking kickers, Urban.
So hold on, let me do something real quick.
I mean, they got 3 wins, and to be honest with you, I can't even believe they had 3 wins. So that's kudos to them. They did beat Buffalo, but they have some holes in their team, definitely.
Right.
Obviously, last year they get Trevor Lawrence. I think
Yes.
he could be a bust, but also could be a very great quarterback in the NFL. But he had no help. Like, they went out and got Marvin Jones. Sure, but that's one guy. You need more than one guy.
And they had the bit of the meltdown with Urban Meyer throughout the years, so that really didn't help.
No.
Also, Urban kicking his kicker's leg, saying "fucking make it." Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of issues.
I don't know. There's just not a great situation for a Jags team that 5 years ago was in the AFC Championship.
They easily could have actually won that game too, but that's
Exactly. So I'm looking at their transactions, and I mean they did quite a bit in the off season.
They did.
They went out, they got, Evan Ingram on a 1-year deal. They got what's his name, Christian Kirk on that massive deal that he got.
Broke the wide receiver market.
I think they got Brandon Sharif. I'm pretty sure that's a name that I thought I saw them sign.
They did well.
Because I'm just trying to see. Yeah, here we go. Free agency tracker. So they got Evan Ingram on a 1-year deal, age 27. Crazy that the Giants would let him even walk because he's predicted to be that talent.
Yeah.
Of like a Gronk, but he was supposed to be a better wide receiver than most of the receivers in the league.
Helps to have a quarterback to throw to him, but
They also picked up Zay Jones, another young guy at 26, Christian Kirk at 25.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Sharif, I was right. I was right. He's been a good guard, and you gotta keep Trevor Lawrence upright if you want him to be good. So you're trying to protect him. Darius Williams, they got a cornerback. Xavier Crawford. I mean, I don't think they really did much besides like the big 5 that they signed that everyone just kind of lost their crap about.
But that's where the draft comes in.
Looking at their team needs, apparently they still need a wide receiver, even though, they went out and got a couple, and I'm pretty sure they still have DJ Chalk on the team, or Chark.
They have Shark. They still have Marvin, unless he left.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've got a pretty good wide receiver room.
But I think
looking at that, but
their biggest problem right now is defense.
Yeah, so I've looked at a couple mock drafts. I've seen somebody saying they're going to take an O-line at 1. I don't think so. I mean, they just released Miles Jack, who kind of has been a letdown after that big hype around him coming out of college.
They do still have Josh Allen.
Yeah.
the defensive Josh Allen. um,
Crazy when
but
he
I,
sacks
I think,
the real Josh Allen.
I mean, realistically, they have the pick from between Aiden, Trayvon Walker.
And before we started, you thought they were taking Trayvon. Why?
He just seems like a good fit. Went to Georgia, big guy. He can run.
He'd be in basically home territory, you know. I mean, it's
Yeah,
one state over, but you know, uh,
yeah.
home
He's
crowd
quick.
gonna and you know, especially with them getting another head coach this year. Hopefully, he comes in kind of like the next team we're going to talk about, Dan Campbell came in with his presser to pump up his guys, and that's what they really need is somebody to really get behind this team and like actually lead the front. And I think with their head coach and how their team looks, they might be able to get something done this year, so that way we don't have to see Jacksonville in the top 10 next year.
Yeah, and I mean Trayvon for being 6'5", 272, that's what he's listed at. He had a
Right.
4.51 40-yard dash. That is a big man running
Yeah.
quick. And imagine him just running downhill at every quarterback.
Yeah,
He could be
I
incredible.
agree. Um
And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Aiden, because I think he's also going to be either very good or really bad. There's going to be no middle for him.
mhm.
Um,
Um
and then
but
if we
I'm
look at
sitting
O
here and I
line,
agree with you.
I just don't think they need to take an O line. Their next pick is second round. Their first pick, they definitely could go out and get an offensive lineman there. I just
Right.
don't think they would go out and get a center or the rest of the line with that first
No,
overall
because
pick.
you can find decent people later
Yeah,
in the draft.
yeah,
So
they definitely need a D lineman or
so I think we're in cahoots that Trayvon Walker will be going number 1 overall.
it's either going to be him or Hutchinson, really. But I think they
Right.
lean towards Trayvon.
And then so that brings us to our next team, and that's the Detroit Lions.
I just want to start the Lions pick off by saying I think it's astronomically hysterical that their first need on this website is quarterback. That is hysterical
Yes.
to me.
And they're not gonna take a quarterback though.
No,
They won't.
not with the first pick. But I just think it's absolutely hysterical. Like they have
Yes.
Jared Goff. Is he great? No.
No.
But they
But
don't
hey,
need a
hey,
quarterback.
let's remember Jared Goff led a team to a play to a Super Bowl.
He did.
So it was really a good year for him.
But he's not that bad to where they need to go out and
I
draft
mean,
one.
it's crazy because like you look at Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen's fucking not really in the league.
Wow.
So
Well, it's
I
because
mean, he's
he's not
better
good
than
either.
that. Well, no, but you know, I mean, Jared Goff's all right, and you know their need is defense,
Yeah,
defense,
they
defense.
if Jacksonville does not take Aiden, I think they have no choice but to.
Aiden is staying in Detroit.
Born and raised here.
I
He went to high school about an hour south of, well, I guess where I'm at, but
Yeah,
he, it's his home team. He went to school in Michigan.
It's literally homegrown.
Yeah,
the
he went.
most the most homegrown you can be.
He went to Michigan. I mean, I just hope he doesn't get lionized like we call it here.
Yeah, so
It's usually a
I
big
think
problem.
like he was a stud at Oregon.
Michigan.
Everybody or yeah, Michigan, my bad. I was
You're thinking of Trayvon.
brain fart. Yeah, brain fart today. Um yeah, he's been nothing but spectacular. He's been on the big board. He's been either one or two throughout this whole process.
Nearly won the Heisman
Um
last year.
yeah, and crazy for a defensive player to
Even
win
be
a
invited,
Heisman. Yeah.
let alone
So
get some recognition for his play this
yeah,
year.
so that speaks
It's an easy.
volumes.
The Lions, at least for me, was an easy pick to look at.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kick you off with the Texans pick. Who you think they're taking?
I don't know. Looking at their team needs, some linemen, some safety. I know it's a bold statement, but Kyle Hamilton would not be a bad pick for them at safety.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's Notre Dame. I think they're a bunch of Mickey Mouse schools, but that's just my opinion.
Right.
I also think they might shock people and go out and take Trayvon. Kayvon. I keep calling him Trayvon.
Uh,
Thibodeau.
they're gonna take Sauce Gardner.
They
They're
could go
they're
that route too.
they're gonna go cornerback, and
They
they're
need help
going
in
to
the
get
secondary.
they are going to have an electric cornerback, like
Yeah.
like what we all thought of Josh Norman that one year. That the years in Jacksonville with Jalen Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the type of player you're getting with Gardner.
I just the problem I have with him, and we'll get to Desmond Ritter too. It works for him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the competition. Cincinnati plays compared to a guy like Derek Stingley, who's rated just below him at number cornerback wise.
Mm-hmm.
He went to LSU. Look at the
Yep.
competition he played against compared to what they play against in Cincinnati. Will that jump from playing in the American Conference to the NFL be that much of a jump for him?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're way quicker in the SEC than the American, which obviously the NFL is way faster than the SEC.
Right.
But can he cover the NFL receiver? That's
Yeah.
my that's my
So
personal
so what
concern with him.
what I'm reading right here is that he's gonna take some time getting into the past 5 yards type
Yeah.
of deal. He's a bit physical, but I mean, which cornerback in college isn't too physical? They're way more lenient on PIs in college, I feel like, than they are in the NFL. The NFL, I feel like they are addicted to calling the PI. And so, you know, I think that these players, like, yes, he played in a weaker division than your other guy, but
I'm just looking just straight off the board, just
no,
comparison.
I get what you're putting down. I feel like he is the most raw talent that you will see out of cornerback for a little while. You know, I've got I was reading an article yesterday talking about Jackson State with that cornerback that they have, and he seems to be just as electric as most of the more dominant guys that you've seen in the
Right.
NFL. So it's cornerback is always a fun position to watch because corners don't get that love that wideouts get,
Right.
or safeties get. And I just want to see a dude come in and just completely dominate this league. And because, he's came out and said, I am the best player in this draft. And
Well,
that's
I
the
mean, everyone's
confidence
gonna
I
say
love.
that.
Well, I know, but that's the type of confidence. And people say that, but do they really mean it? You know what I mean? And I
Right.
feel like Sauce Gardner really, really means it. He's a mean dude. So that is my pick, going number 3 overall.
I you know, I wouldn't be shocked if they went that route, just because they could use the help on defense. Obviously, their
Exactly.
offense is a little weak as well, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just don't see a world where, like I said, I think they could go with Sauce, or they could go. I think Kyle Hamilton would be a really good pick. I know he slid down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but he would still fit their need in the secondary.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think they go cornerback. They really need that help. And
Yeah,
I mean, you looked at a Texans team last year that was young and
very
chippy, young and very just like physical and chippy, and they pulled out some games that were, you know,
shocking,
actually pretty incredible. So I think
especially
you
with the
get a little more
distraction of Deshaun and all that.
right,
Week in week out, it's a distraction.
right. It is, and
Even though he wasn't even
now
in the facility, that it was a
now
distraction.
now their hands are washed
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have to worry about it anymore. They can go out and have fun again. So,
Yeah, just have to
all
have
right.
a second-year quarterback lead the way.
So
But
pick number 4
the
is
New
the
York
Jets.
Football Jets.
Jets. I mean, I think they go away from defense. I think they take an O lineman here.
I would
It
agree.
makes sense because you're not. How many times did Wilson get hit last year?
A lot.
Yeah, it's because your O line sucks. Um, so I
On the
think
ball
that
either.
yeah, I mean, there was no time whatsoever for Wilson to do anything, and he got hurt on top of that. So, you know, you got to protect your guy. I mean, you took him at number 2 last year out of the other quarterbacks, and yeah, Justin Fields should have went to New York, but uh but they were just bad. They were
Yeah.
bad. Don't know how they got the 4th overall pick. I fully expected them to have the 1st overall pick, but
Hey, they
I
beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Come on now.
I think they either go with Evan Neal
I think
from
Evan Neal is
Alabama.
the pick.
Evan Neal, like
Yep.
Alabama linemen are born and bred there.
Yep.
Like I
They
mean, why do you
are
think
trees. Just like
yeah.
Wisconsin. They are trees.
And I think they could shock the world and take Akeem
I don't think that would be too shocking
Equonu.
based on how his combine was in pro day.
Right, but you like we said earlier, how often do you see a guy from NC State up there?
Well, that one just kind of threw me for a loop. I mean, Russell
Right?
did go there. Um,
But did he end his did he end his
career there? No, he went to Wisconsin.
no.
But
Yes.
but at least the competition level at NC State's a little higher than Cincinnati. So,
Yeah.
he's I can't Akeem. I mean, 6'4", 310. I mean, Jesus,
Yeah,
that is a
he's a
big
tree
guy.
he's a tree dog, but I think they either go with the guy from Alabama or the guy from NC State. I mean, they need it. They need a dude in the trench really fighting to protect that quarterback because you protect a quarterback, it opens up your run play, opens up your wide receiver play, and their
Yep.
wide receivers aren't terrible. They've got a decent team around him. It's just they have to keep that quarterback standing for them to do anything because their defense is out there probably about 75% of the game, and they're tired.
Yeah.
You need to give them a break. So you need to get on that offensive side, especially if you guys want to be what you were back in the old days. Like shit, man. They've had all these weird picks, and I swear to God, I've seen the Jets in the top 10 for the last 10 years,
It's like the Lions.
and it's not great. It's not great at all.
Yeah, I honestly I think either pick would be good, but I think
Hmm.
I'm in agreements with you with Evan Neal being that number 4
Yeah,
overall pick.
I
It's
mean,
it's a good it's a good slot in for him.
what's not to like about him, right?
Right.
Like, it's an Alabama O lineman.
Mm-hmm.
They go pretty high in the draft every year.
Was Alex Leatherwood with the Raiders last year. He had
Hmm.
a good year.
Like,
He struggled early with some penalties, but he
right.
he sorted it out and ended
It's
up
it's
having a really
it's
good
that
year.
step from college football to
Mm-hmm.
NFL. Like again,
They're that step quicker.
they're that one step quicker, but it's also, as like I said earlier, I feel like they're a little bit more lenient to throw the flag in college football than they are the NFL. Like if the flags I don't know, if flags were being thrown, I don't think the scores would be what they would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so that says something. But our pick for the Jets is going to be an O lineman. It has to be. It will be
And
Evan Neal.
the fifth pick is staying in New Jersey.
Yeah, you're going to the other side of the pond.
Well, I mean they play at the same stadium in
I
New
know.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, that loss was so
Um.
funny. I was crying at that
So
one.
I mean, the Giants. They're just a weird team because they're also in the same position as the Jets. I did just have had very bad draft picks and very boring takes like Daniel
I
Jones.
just don't believe in Daniel Jones. That pick
I
shocked me.
don't
It
either.
still shocks me.
I don't either because he's not good. And it's not like they're gonna go quarterback here because
You
I
can't.
I get it. Like some of the quarterbacks are very like very what's the word I'm trying to find here? Tantalizing? Is that a word?
Can be.
Maybe. But they seem appealing. There you go. Like Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett. But here's the thing. I don't think a quarterback in this draft will be ready for 2 years.
I
I
don't think
think
they'll
he
be
will
ready at
have to
all.
be it's kind of like Jordan Love. Jordan Love has been behind Aaron Rodgers for how long now?
Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers was behind Brett Favre for a while too.
Yeah, but Jordan Love has not shown anything,
I mean,
right?
outside of garbage time and I almost call it spring training, preseason.
Right.
Wow, yeah, it's baseball season. Sorry. Um, Outside of preseason and training camp and garbage
he had
time,
one
when
he had
does he
one
have a
start.
chance?
He had one start and he was not great in it.
Yeah,
The one
against
where
a
the
Kansas City team that was on fire on defense.
oh yeah, and they made his mom sit up in the rafters.
Well, that's just where the visitor section happens to be.
Yeah, but it's their kid's first career
Pay for
start.
tickets to considered lower.
Yeah, but
That's the tickets the Chiefs gave him. They could have upgraded.
yeah, true.
That's not their
But
fault. They could have
but
upgraded.
but I don't know where the Giants go. I mean, their team is such a mess. What? Kayvon Tooney wasn't that his first year last year?
Yeah, rookie out of
And
Florida.
he's
I think it was
and
out of
he's
Florida.
already fucking like I want out.
Well,
Dude doesn't even have a playbook. Like
yeah, you
the,
lose some, you lose some.
exactly. But I don't know. You need a line. You really do. All the other big O line that they've taken in the first round in the top 10 have been busts, which is crazy to me. So they probably go with
I think they might go
Ekem.
with what is his first name? Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. Nice little linebacker. They need help on defense.
They do, but they also need to protect Daniel Jones.
I think they go with him, or they go with where'd it go? I just had it. Akeem.
Yeah,
Or
they go
Kenyon
oh
Green, maybe little guard.
they go
From,
they
like, he's not
go they
little.
go tackle.
He's 323 pounds.
They go tackle because you need to either protect his strong side or his backside. Put him wherever.
Yeah.
Like you really need to make sure that Daniel Jones doesn't get hit. But again, if
These
they
are the
go
Camper Scouts, earning their Eco badge.
linebacker, I mean Georgia linebackers are crazy.
Yeah.
They are literally insane. Is that part of the trio that ran those Fast Times, or were those all linemen
For what?
for the 40?
I just saw
The
one.
there was the 3 Georgia dudes. I'm pretty sure
It had to have
Walker
been,
was
yeah.
in it,
It had
but
been Walker, Neal, or Dean.
and then somebody else because I know that 3 of them ran under a 4 something. And probably Jordan Davis. That's who I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I would believe
So
that.
they all ran super crazy times. And you're going to get a baller wherever you go. So they either go, I mean, let's lock in a pick. What do they need more? Defensive help or protecting their quarterback?
Probably protecting the quarterback.
So they're going to go with Hakeem.
Yeah.
They have to. They have to protect their quarterback to be relevant. They're like, you guys piss poor treated Odell.
Yep.
You treated that whole situation bad. You drafted Daniel Jones, who you thought was going to be Eli Manning 2.0, but he's not. Eli
not
Manning was
close.
he was a good quarterback being on a shit team. He is what made that team good.
Yep.
Like, why do you think he beat Tom Brady twice?
Well, that's
Yeah.
a team effort, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he made the throws, the guys made the catch.
With his helmet?
Eli
No.
Eli Manning is a Hall of Fame quarterback,
Yeah.
and that's a pretty hard thing to follow up.
Yeah, they had I don't know, the Giants. You could see too when Eli was starting to struggle toward the end of his career, they started doing really
Well,
bad
of course, of course, of course. Hence why they were the first pick in the draft. All right, so let's move on over to the
too. Carolina
Panthers.
Panthers.
I think this is where the first quarterback gets taken.
Hmm.
I do, because do you trust Sam Darnold?
A lot more than any quarterback in this draft.
I understand that, but Sam Darnold also can't stay healthy.
Well, maybe if he didn't get hit every other play,
But but didn't people like PJ Walker? Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, he came from the XFL.
Yeah, a lot of people started to like him when he
I don't
had
think he
the
got
reins.
a fair chance, to be honest. Because
I mean,
they got crushed defensively in that one. I know at least the one game he played, they got blown out. There was and you can't run your whole playbook at that point.
Right.
You're just essentially just a throwing sim because you're down by so much because the defense couldn't play well. So I don't like I said, I don't think he had a fair chance. I know Sam Darnold is not a good quarterback.
No,
but maybe they go out and get Baker.
There is a good chance that they make a trade on trade night with the Browns.
Yeah, it would happen Thursday night with their pick on the clock.
I think there's a 50% chance it happens, a 50% chance they don't.
Lower. I'd go a little lower than 50 that it happens. It'd probably be closer to 25 to 30, but they have so many issues.
Oh yes.
And I also don't think Cam got a fair chance either.
They also have their QB is their number one need, honestly. And if there's any quarterback in this draft that I think is gonna be somewhat decent, it's probably gonna be Malik Willis. I mean, he's got a decent arm. He's got speed. You can kind of do like a mini Cam, you know what I mean? But I think Malik Willis is the first quarterback taken off the board. But I mean 6 is a reach, but maybe they see something that everybody doesn't. And
I mean, if they're gonna do it, they have to because they don't have another pick until the 4th round.
Right.
Unless
so
they trade for one, but
I think that they go quarterback here because by that point you're I mean, Cam was on a rest of the year deal. I don't think he comes back.
Like I said, I don't think they gave him a fair chance. He looked fit. He was fit to play. They didn't give him a chance. They did to him what the Raiders did to Mariota.
Right.
You knew exactly what was coming.
Right.
How is Cam supposed to succeed if you only bring him in goal to go and he's either going to run the ball because he's a freight train,
right,
or he's just going to lob pass it.
Right.
What kind of fair shot is that?
Right, but I don't think that he comes back. I just don't.
No, he's not. But I just don't think they gave him a fair chance. That's just my opinion, of course.
And then you're just sitting there like on Sam Darnold and PJ Walker. I mean, do you trust your two quarterbacks that you have in camp already? That's kind of the big question, right?
Right.
Do you trust these guys? Sam Darnold, probably not. Give PJ Walker a chance to shine in the preseason, and we'll see. I know preseason is preseason, doesn't really mean much, but it shows the progress that they've made. And maybe he comes out and shows out and beats Sam out for the job. And they don't go quarterback, but they're most likely going offensive on this pick. They have to.
I think they're going to go out and get Charlie Cross from Mississippi State. That's my guess. Just nice He's still developing
yeah,
as a pass blocker, but
I've heard about Charles Cross. Yeah.
I think with him already starting that development process of being a pass blocker, they need help on the offensive line. I think he would be a really good fit.
I also think that if they don't go quarterback, if they don't go O-line, they are going to go wide receiver to help that wide receiver room. Because he's like, I know that it's scary to get, like, you just have to get the ball out quick and hopefully, like, something happens. But you could also look at Drake London out of USC, 6'4", 219. Or you come down at
I would, if it's wide receiver, it either has to be Olav or Drake London. I don't see Garrett Wilson is incredible talent, even though I hate the University of Ohio. But he's more of like that deep threat guy.
Right.
He's that speed, I'm going to run past you, and there's nothing you can do about it, kind of like a Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think Olav and Drake London are a little bit better of options for overall, all-around receiver. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Garrett Wilson can't do it. It's just those two seem like the more logical pick.
Right. But all in all, when it comes down to it, I want to say they take Malik, but at the same time, it's like we've talked about earlier. It's, do you trust any quarterback in this draft? And I don't know if you trust him enough.
But that's
so we go Charles Cross to the Panthers. All right, I'll let you lead off the next one.
Going back to New Jersey, we're here a lot actually. We're here 4 times in the first 10, but watch them do really good because I called the Athletics the Las Vegas Athletics and they're popping off. Now that I keep calling them New Jersey Giants and Jets, I swear if they make the Super Bowl, I'm gonna not be happy. I'll tell you
that. So we got their O-lineman out of the way.
This is another chance I can see Kyle Hamilton coming off the board.
And that's the linebacker, right?
Safety from Notre Dame.
Safety? Okay. I am in agreement with you. They need help in that secondary. And they just, like we've said earlier, they're not good. So I am in agreement with Ben here. They go safety.
A safety or defensive back. It's one of the two. You flip-flop. It don't really matter.
I'd say they go safety. We take a safety off the board.
Yeah, it's either Kyle or Derek Stingley Jr. from LSU. I did because assuming Sauce is already off the board,
right?
Derek's the next in line, best cornerback available, and I think he'd be. Really, anybody would help them.
Right. So next, we're going to Falcons. Falcons.
Interesting pick.
Your boy, your homie, is now the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons for 3 years.
Although I've heard that nobody wants to see Mariota be the starter, which makes me sad.
That's troublesome because you
sad.
just spent 3 years on him.
Yeah, that makes me sad. I just obviously the quarterback needs are still there.
I think they go. Yeah, of course they still need quarterback, but I think they go wide out to help Kyle Pitts out.
And it's not Calvin.
And you also have to find a replacement for Calvin Ridley for the year because he is now suspended for the entire year. So
don't gamble on your own games. Just look at Pete Rose. He's still not banned or unbanned.
Right. So I think that they go.
This is where I think Garrett Wilson comes off because they have a guy like Kyle Pitts who can be a receiver. He obviously is not. He's a tight end, but he's really good at catching the ball.
Right.
The yards after catch and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where they need that deep threat.
Right.
Because you have Cordell Patterson, who's that all-around guy that you need.
Which him skyrocketing like he has the last two years has been phenomenal. I never thought I would see Cordell Patterson outside of being a kickoff returner.
Yeah, and he
dominating the league.
Hard, and he is right now that all-around guy in Atlanta. So
Right.
that's where I think Garrett Wilson could come in and just give Cordell more space.
Right, especially being their running back,
Yeah,
because that's what he mostly did last year was
that's
running
true.
back.
Yeah.
And
But he can
Cordell
play slot.
shined. He could play slot.
Mhm.
He can do basically anything. And
Yep.
you give, Kyle Pitts, like, let's not call him a tight end anymore. He's really not. He's a wide receiver.
But he's still really good at blocking.
Right. He is a tight end, but like mostly he's a wide receiver. I mean, he had a
Right.
phenomenal rookie year, over 1,000 yards. That's
like-
tough to do.
It's like Darren Waller, stuff like that.
Right.
Players like
So
that.
I'm with you. I think Garrett Wilson comes off the board here, and he goes and slots in well. Mariota kind of gonna have his feet under him. He's gonna be that starter. Because who else do you like? You don't go out and sign him for 3 years to not have him start.
Yeah, they'd be really stupid unless they go out and draft a quarterback and then try and use him like the Raiders did, which would really make me sad as well.
I hope that he becomes a pocket passer and
I
doesn't
hope
have to
so.
run.
Yeah. That's the
So
hope.
next we come.
Are we back in New Jersey?
No.
Oh,
No.
they're 10th. LOL.
We are in Seattle for this pick. So I kind of have a pretty good insight of what we need. The fan base.
Oh, okay.
So the Seahawks, their big need is, with getting rid of Russell, and the one thing that he begged and pleaded for was an O-line. They never gave it to him. It just wasn't good. That's why he's gone. And now you're getting a young guy, third or fourth year in the league in Drew Lock.
QB1.
QB1. I mean, I don't think they're gonna make a trade for Baker. It doesn't make sense because they're on their Twitter, on all their socials. It's all day, every day. Drew Lock. They want people to know that they're sticking with this guy. So their big need right now is O-line. And let me scroll down here. Where is he? They're gonna take Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa.
The bold pick.
Yeah. I heard it on another podcast that I listened to. Dude's a dog. He at the Senior Bowl game, he basically dominated every big name defensive end that was there. He pancaked them, threw them around like ragdolls. He's also 6'7", 325
He is a big boy. He is a big boy.
And, with the Seahawks not getting Dwayne Brown back, they need somebody on that blind side.
Right.
And Trevor Penning, especially with you having a Chris Carson and Rashad Penny backfield this year, you're getting back Will Dissly, you got Noah Fant, you got DK, and you got Tyler and Eskridge. You've got a solid offense.
Right.
Solid offense. Now protect your quarterback, and guess what? You're back in the playoffs. It's as simple as that. The
Although you still have
defense
to deal with the Rams, but
you have to deal with Bobby sacking us like 20 million times a year, but
that'll
yeah.
be really fun to watch.
Oh, it's gonna be real fun. But I think they go O-line here. There's no other thing that I see. I mean, they could go Thibodeau, but which honestly most likely will happen. Because Pete Carroll is very horny for defensive ends. But if you really want this team to succeed this year, you go O-line.
Right. I think they take Rainman from Central Michigan. Fire
Okay.
chips. I think it's again the competition level. I think it's a little higher at Central than it is Northern Iowa.
But I mean, it takes a lot for
It
a
does.
dude to come into a Senior Bowl
Right. You're not
and
wrong.
just dominate.
I just wanted to
Like-
play devil's advocate and pick somebody else.
Right. Well, my pick is going to be Trevor Penning. He is an absolute unit, a big boy who's gonna do some damage to hopefully Aaron Donald if he's ever on that side. So and stop Bobby.
Well, yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it sure will. But now we're back in New Jersey. Back in New Jersey.
One of these two teams will make the playoffs. I want that on the record. One of these two teams will make the playoffs for me. Keep calling them New Jersey.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's true. They're both called New York, so.
I still find that lawsuit funny.
Yeah. So who did we say they took? They took.
This is why I thought the draft challenge was a good idea. It wasn't Sauce, was it? No, because you said third to the.
Yes, I said he was going to the Texans. I'm pretty sure we did wide receiver.
Evan Neal.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we got an O lineman out the way.
This is where Kayvon goes.
Yeah.
This is where Kayvon goes off the board. Because taking Evan,
yeah.
they fixed their offensive line, somewhat of their offensive line needs.
Yeah.
And now
Thibodeau
falls all the way to 10. Falls right into their lap.
Which it's been showing that he's been falling in every draft. Like, he was the unanimous #1 overall pick.
Coming into the year.
Yeah, and then once everybody started doing their mocks in the draft and combines and everything, he has fallen to around the 10 mark, which is kind of
just the struggle of the Oregon defense last year as a whole.
Okay.
He didn't play very well, but the whole team didn't play very well.
Right.
And especially like big moments like that series where against Stanford when they were winning with 2 minutes left, they had 3 15-yard penalties, and Thibodeau had at least one of them, I believe. And you can't let Stanford, when you were the #1 team or top 3 team in the country, you already went to Ohio State and beat them in Columbus, which is hard to do.
Right. Very hard.
You go to Stanford, you should be able to beat Stanford.
Right. They don't have a great team.
90 yards in under 2 minutes and then get the 2-point conversion to tie the game. And like I said, I think Thibodeau had 1 or 2 personal fouls on that drive. One was a roughing the passer. You just can't have that. And
no,
so
you
that's
can't.
why they ended up losing that game. But it was like that the whole year, though. Just bad defense.
Right.
And that's what I think hurt his draft stock.
Right. But I think he fits well with New York. He will fall to 10, I believe. Yeah. Because I really hope the Seahawks don't take him.
No, I think he'll fall to 10.
But I think that's a good lock. And now we go over to the Commanders.
We go to Maryland.
We go to the Commanders.
God, they're gonna make the playoffs too. They're winning the division. Fuck it.
So the Commanders, I believe they go cornerback here. I do, and they will be taking Trent McDuffie out of Washington. He's 5'11", 193.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. They needed help in the secondary. It fits their needs.
He's fast. He can cover a dude. Like
yeah, like their next pick, 2nd round that they got in a trade, I think was with the Colts.
Yeah, his comp, his comparison is Chris Harris.
Yeah,
so
pretty solid comparison.
Right, he great tackler. I mean, I've watched him the last couple of years. You know, he's been good. My brother's a big, huge UW fan, and has nothing but great things to say about Trent McDuffie. Right. So I think he comes off the board for the Commanders because they got a decent-ish quarterback if he can stay healthy. Give a team that kind of believes in him. I mean, now you have Terry McLaurin as your wide receiver 1, and I think that's going to help boost him a little bit because look, when he had Alshon Jeffrey, he was among that caliber, and they were that good together. So maybe this is Carson Wentz's redemption season.
Oh, it
makes
I think last year was.
Yeah, they didn't believe in him. They didn't believe in him one bit when they got him.
No, I think they were anticipating him getting hurt again, and because that in the trade, he had to play like 75% of the snaps for them to actually send their draft pick to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And he played like I think 98%. He missed like maybe 5 the whole year. Which obviously the past couple seasons that stuns all of us because he's missed so much time, and he actually had a full season with a good running back. But the problem with Carson is the pressure situations.
Right.
Because when Jonathan Taylor didn't outrun everybody like he normally did, and it was on his shoulders,
it was trouble.
It was
trouble. Yep. And I think you're going to a Commanders team that has Antonio Gibson, and they just got, they swindled him back with Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
Right? No, not Jerick McKinnon. He played McKissick. JD
I was
McKissick.
Gonna say that, but I was thinking of McCormick from the Astros. God, I'm in baseball. My
head's so JD McKissick. They've got Terry McLaurin. They've got a pretty decent team overall. They just need, I think them going to get a corner to kind of help them on the defensive side where they're a little weaker.
Yeah.
Will help them a lot.
I agree.
So our next team is the Vikings. Man, you are gonna get so much hate if people actually start commenting.
What? They're called the Purple People Eaters. That's what their nickname is.
I didn't know that, but
oh yeah, the New Jersey ones will get me.
Yeah, for sure. Who's Minnesota taking?
They need some help on defense. They really do.
Yeah, they do.
I think they go. I think they also go secondary.
Yeah.
And I think they take Andrew Booth from Clemson. 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's an athlete. That's what he is. I think he might be able to cover the receivers that are in the Mickey Mouse NFC North. That's my favorite division in the whole league. Or they go someone, just maybe like, I don't know, D-line. Throw someone on the D-line. Like a
Jordan Davis.
Jeremy Johnson, Florida State.
Jordan Davis
would be a good pick. Just somebody on that line just to get some pressure.
Or Devontae Wyatt, another Georgia boy.
Yeah.
So
you
I think
have to pressure Aaron.
Yeah,
who cares
and
about
that's
Justin? Nobody cares about Jared. You have to.
I mean, their
pressure
defense isn't terrible because they still have Anthony Barr. They still have Kendricks. I'm pretty sure they have what's his name, Sheldon Richardson, as well.
I believe so, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they have an edge rusher already.
But why not have a second one?
Right.
You have to pressure Aaron.
No, I get you. So I'm gonna think they're gonna go tackle instead of DN. I think they're gonna try to put two guys in the middle, and I think it's gonna be one of the Georgia guys. I think it's either gonna be Jordan Davis or Devonta Wyatt.
Yeah, I think Jordan Davis would be a really good pick.
Because I now see, it wasn't Dean part of that trio. It was where is
Davis
his?
Had a 4.78 40, and it was the fastest in anybody over 300 since 06.
Yeah, there's Davis, Wyatt, and there was the third one.
He is 6'6", 340. That is an absolute unit of athlete.
So he's gonna. I think Davis is gonna go right there.
They need D-line.
He could be the modern or the new Aaron Donald of the league.
Just 100 pounds heavier than him.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Oh yeah.
But
like,
the only
good luck, Aaron.
Like you just gotta pressure him. Like that's how you beat him. Because if they don't, we all have seen for the last 15 years how dominant Aaron can be if he has time in the pocket.
Right.
You take that away from him, you have a chance. I don't believe
Exactly.
in Kirk Cousins, but you have a chance.
I mean, let's be honest. Kirk Cousins has been the most average quarterback there's ever been.
He is the number two most. He's the second best criminal in all pro sports, behind Ben Simmons.
Fair.
Because stole $20 million from Philly and Brooklyn. That's not the point. That's
Yeah, we
basketball.
we don't talk basketball here.
No,
We don't talk basketball here.
Sorry, but he was the number one criminal in all of
Right,
pro sports.
right. But no, we'll see. We'll see how their season runs out. I do think they go Jordan.
So much. I don't care if he went to Michigan State
I know
or
you
not.
do. I think they go Jordan Davis
Yeah, I think it's a good
and
pick.
yeah. So next we go back to the Texans. So they took Sauce Gardner with their first pick.
Yep.
And let's go look at a good old Houston team real quick. What do they need? What do they want?
I think they.
What are they
that's another,
feeling?
Like if the Seahawks
They go-
do go with Trevor, I think that's where Bernard goes.
Yes, they go O line.
Maybe grab a
They
guard
have
like
to.
Kenyon Green, Zion Johnson. I think they
It's
go line. O-line.
it has to be O line. Again,
Yeah.
you're gonna beef up your defense. Might as well beef up your O line because you don't have anybody.
Yeah.
So-
I think that's just the easy pick. It's just a guy like Kenyon Green out of A&M.
Yep.
Zion
I,
Johnson out of BC. I think those are some solid choices for them to
Right.
help Davis. just
So
protect
who's your boom 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 final pick?
Kenyon.
Okay.
Kenyon Green.
Okay.
Out of A&M.
I agree. Next pick, we're going to Philly, city of
Oh.
brotherly love.
Wow. Stumbled over that one. All right. Okay.
The one thing they do need wide receiver help.
defense. They also need receiver help too. But
wide receiver help because two of their wide receivers can't catch a football.
that is true.
I
think
mean,
this
I
is-
am here. I am here for Jalen Hurts. I am rooting for Jalen Hurts because
it's always
Jalen Hurts is a
season.
he's a good quarterback.
Let's shout out to MMG.
He is a good quarterback. He proved it at Alabama. He proved it at Oklahoma. He's proven it in the league. He is a good quarterback.
He's not great,
Get him
but he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him some help because if you get him some help, guess what? You're gonna take that next step, and he's not gonna be good. He's gonna be great.
I think this is a nice spot for Jamison Williams to get taken off the board out of
Jameson
Alabama.
Williams.
I know he got hurt in the national championship, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah, he
Yes.
lost me money. That's not the point.
but elite speed.
Yeah.
What you need. Great hands.
Well, you know what's crazy? He was the 4th receiver at Ohio State, behind
Yeah.
Olave, Garrett Wilson, and they're number 1 right now.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy will kill me if I don't remember his name, but it's a long name.
He can also be your kickoff returner. Like
Yeah.
this dude has crazy vision in the field.
Yeah,
So-
Jamison's a really good pick here for the Eagles.
Yes. I am on Hunter's. Your Kane stamp of approval. It's happening. Now we're going to New Orleans.
Oh, the Big Easy.
The Big Easy. Okay.
With
They
Sean Payton gone.
need O-line help. They need it. They lost Tariq Armstead. They need something because I tell you what, you get a full healthy season of LASIK Jameson.
He played well last year before he got hurt.
Exactly.
He was playing
was-
like
he
he did
had,
at Florida
like-
State.
Yeah. You get me a full season of Winston, a healthy LASIK.
Florida State
You know, no-
version.
No more ESPN 30 for 30 James Winston. But no, you go get him O-line. You take the next available best O-line that there is and you protect that man because he is going to once you get Michael Thomas back and what was that other dude? He was like super
Callaway.
no name. Yeah,
Brandon
Callaway.
Callaway. I think his
Yeah.
last name's Michael.
You get those two healthy, or you get Michael Thomas healthy, one of the best receivers in the league, and Jameis Winston's just gonna put it right in his chest.
Yeah.
He's one of those dudes that doesn't drop the ball, and then you're gonna have Callaway with that breakaway speed.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna cause some problems down in the AFC South or the NFC South.
I think they NFC. I think they go with Abraham Lucas.
Yes.
Based off of what we've taken off the board already, Abraham Lucas or Zion. Just somebody on the O-line.
Yeah. I think we go with the first one.
Yep.
Best overall guy.
Yep. Best available O-lineman. Just snatch him.
Yep. Now we're going to San Diego. I mean, I don't think they need help on the defensive end. Do not think they need help at all.
Oh, that's right.
They could also benefit from taking an O-line guy, but it's a big but. I think they go wide out to help Mike Williams and Keenan Allen out.
I hope they don't take anyone from Ohio. No,
Why? Then you have to root.
Treylon
Then you have
Burks
to.
would be a good one, or Jahad Dotson out of Penn State would be, I think, a good receiver to add to that room.
Is that on the next page? Okay, sure it is. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Burks. I don't know if I trust anybody with the last. I don't think I'd trust anybody with the last name Dotson.
Well, he played obviously living in Big Ten country. I watch a lot of Penn State and hear a lot about Penn State.
But remember Josh Dotson?
Wow.
Remember how he was a first round pick too?
That's okay. It's a different person.
And he didn't do anything. I'm pretty sure he's on the Bills.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. It's a different person.
That's true, but I do think they go with Treylon here.
God, I hope so. I have his
6'2", 225. He's your big physical guy. So he could be a slot guy for them, and you have Mike Williams, who's been phenomenal on the outside, Keenan Allen, who's just been unreal, and you throw Treylon Burks in there, who's gonna be, you can kind of play, piece for piece. You could throw him on the outside. You could throw Williams on the inside. You could throw, Allen on the inside. Something like they've got the quarterback in Herbert. They've got the running back in Eckler.
Yeah, they do. The baby goat.
You've got your two wideouts. Why not get a third that's just gonna dominate the league?
Right.
So, I mean, a 6'2", 225 guy.
Yeah,
that's a big boy. That's a big boy. But I say Treylon Burks is going there.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
And now we're going back to Philly. Philly. Where did we go with Philly?
Jameson Williams, Alabama.
Okay. Oh yeah, the other wideout. That's right.
I think
they go
corner
line.
Here.
You think they go corner?
Corner or
Talk to me. Talk to me about some corners.
Actually, I think they're gonna go safety here. It's either gonna be Daxton Hill or.
Or.
If it's not Daxton Hill, it'll probably be either Kyler Gordon.
Let's look at Kyler Gordon. Easy mover with quick feet, fluid hips, and closing burst speed. It's everything you want in a cornerback. I mean,
yeah.
Washington has had this thing where, I mean, yes, you've seen some of them flop in the league, but you also have Budda Baker is one of the more elite defenders. Taylor Rapp, who has came in and been phenomenal for the Rams. I mean, Sidney Jones was one of those big guys. I mean, they bred Marcus Peters. Who was the other guy? The guy who got taken by Green Bay. There was Sidney Jones.
No, that's an Alabama guy.
Or no, it was Philly. No, Philly took Sidney Jones, and then Green Bay took somebody else, and then it was Budda Baker to Arizona.
Oh, you're saying in that draft? It could have been Jair.
Yeah. because there was 3 guys from Washington that went. But Jair didn't go to Washington.
No, he went to Alabama.
But Washington has this thing where they just pump out wide receiver cornerbacks who are really,
Yeah.
really good. So I could see Kyler Gordon going here.
Yeah, I just feel like if they could use a nice cornerback and just to help the defense out.
Yeah, I agree. Next is
Back to New Orleans.
no, we
no.
just did New Orleans. It is
No, we are back
Pittsburgh.
to
We just did New Orleans, bro.
New Orleans. No, it goes Philly, New Orleans, LA,
Oh,
Philly,
shit.
New Orleans.
It goes New Orleans, Pittsburgh.
Weren't we talking about Philly?
Oh, okay, yeah, we were.
Yeah, the 15-16 is Philly.
I'm sorry.
New Orleans.
Today has been a
Then you have the
day.
Chargers. And then it's Philly,
Right.
New Orleans again.
Okay, then Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Okay.
then Pittsburgh.
So
we're back in New Orleans.
So New Orleans, we said needed to get.
We went O-line.
Okay,
Why
so
is quarterback on here? That's just asinine to me.
so they need a wideout. I think they need a no, they need a guard. They need a guard. That's what they need.
Zion.
They are gonna go with a guard. Yeah, Zion Johnson. That's the next.
Or Dylan Parham.
Yeah, I think it either goes one of those two,
Yeah.
just because, again, protect Jameis Winston.
Yeah, at all costs.
Yeah, I think they go Zion Johnson.
They protect him.
And-
He gets the ball out efficiently like he did last year.
Yes.
With the receivers that they have, they still have
Yes.
Alvin Kamara.
And
Don't forget
Mark,
about him. Let him run wild.
and they have Mark if they bring him back.
Yeah.
So now we go to the Steel City, and
Oh,
I'm
boy.
just gonna say Kenny Pickett's staying in Pittsburgh. Kenny
God,
Pickett's
I
gonna
hate-
stay in
God, I
Pittsburgh
hate
because
Kenny
I don't
Pickett.
trust any quarterback that Pittsburgh
No,
is
Mason
throwing
Rudolph
out there.
I trust Sam Darnold more than Mason Rudolph. It's not
Mhm.
close.
If Dwayne Haskins hadn't been killed, it would have been Dwayne Haskins' season.
It probably would have, because like I said, I don't like Mason. I think he's bad. He's just not good.
I mean,
He's had
let's
opportunities to try
that,
get
and
his
he's
chance.
also kind of a menace to other players because, I mean, let's look back when he got hit in the head with the helmet.
That was the most hysterical thing I've ever seen. I don't think anything could top that.
No, he also, allegedly called Myles Garrett a slur, and that's what made Myles Garrett pop
Well,
off like he did. But
yeah, but
I
even
think
that aside, he's
not been good. He's not been good, and I'm pretty sure they have Josh Dobbs too on their roster.
Yeah, I don't know who their QB3 is.
I
doesn't
know
matter.
it's Mason Rudolph. I think Josh Dobbs, and then somebody else. But I
It
think
don't matter.
I think they go with Kenny Pickett. Stay with Pittsburgh. They seem to like to draft guys out of the area.
I mean, hell, Pittsburgh plays their home games at Heinz Field, so he's used to playing
in the atmosphere. Yeah.
at the NFL level of stadium.
Yes.
Even though college football stadiums nowadays are bigger than NFL stadiums, but
Right.
he's used to the surroundings, like the play clock. It's not a tough adjustment as it would be from his home stadium to a new stadium.
Right. But I think Kenny Pickett goes off the board here.
I unfortunately have to agree. I hate all the quarterbacks in this draft. But I do think
I'm with
Pittsburgh
ya.
takes him. They need him.
Yep.
Ben's gone.
I mean, never has to leave. Never
Yeah.
has to leave. Now we go to New England. I mean, let's kind of get the elephant in the room. They need a corner. because they lost Stephon Gilmore. I mean, they traded him away, and he's been doing well in Carolina. And now J.C. Jackson is a Charger on a 5-year deal.
I agree with that one.
So they need a cornerback to kind of solidify. Like, their offense always is decent. Mac Jones looked pretty good.
Pretty good.
Except for that game in Buffalo where he only threw for like 3 yards.
Well, that's because it was like 50-mile-an-hour winds, and let me tell you, we had that weather in the morning. I knew that game was going to be bad.
Yeah.
That was brutal. I hit the under on that as soon as I saw the weather when I woke up that morning, because that's not even on Mac Jones. That's just Mother Nature right there.
But I think Mac has that chip on his shoulder. So
I think Mac's gonna be a great quarterback. I didn't go on the record, but I said that Mac Jones will be the best quarterback out of that draft.
I mean, you're on the record now.
Well, now I am, but at the time, out of all the people drafted, out of all the guys drafted in the first round, I said Mac Jones would be the best, and
I agree.
He had a phenomenal year. What scares me about Mac Jones' career is what happens when Billy B leaves.
Yeah.
Because I think
Bill Belichick's gonna. I think he's gonna die on the sideline.
Well, that might be the case, but Bill Belichick just knows how to craft quarterbacks. Because he had Bledsoe.
Yep.
Right?
And then the greatest of all time,
Tommy B.
The greatest quarterback to ever grace this planet.
Yep. Yeah, Tom Brady for 20 years.
Literally pick 199.
And honestly, even when Brady was not playing, and it was like, Garoppolo.
You had Garoppolo. You had Brissett.
Yep.
I mean, look at the haul you got for Brissett. Look at the haul you got for Garoppolo, because they were Belichick-bred quarterbacks.
But they were still winning. Yes. Or at least competitive. And it was just
right.
It's kind of like you just put any quarterback in there and they're going to do great. That's what scares me about Mac Jones, but that's a different topic for a different day.
I mean, right now, I know Keanu wants, he wants out. Keanu Neal wants out.
That kind of hurts.
Yeah, but how well has he been?
Yeah.
Or no, it's not Keanu Neal, because Neal is the. I'm trying to think of his name, but he's the big guy that they drafted a couple of years ago. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so, yeah.
But other than that, their wide receivers are fine. They've got their slew of running backs. Their O-line is still their O-line.
Yeah.
I think you need to go defensive on this end, and I think you need to go with a corner.
Yeah, oh god, there's 2 eyes back to back. I'm not gonna be able to say it.
Hold on.
The guy out of Florida. The guy out of Florida.
Kair.
Yeah, sure. I just don't want to butcher it. I don't like butchering people's names.
I think it's Kair Alam.
Yeah.
Because, well, did we already get Stingley off the board?
No. Or yeah, we did a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Kair is the next best guy.
He is the next best. Our board.
Yeah. So I think they go there. Like I said, they need somebody, and what better to have control for 5 years?
Yeah, I agree.
So, I think New England goes there. Our next team is Green Bay, which I think they trade their pick.
This pick was already a trade. I think they got it from. I almost called them Oakland. Jesus.
They got it from Vegas. Well, no, they'll trade 28. They'll trade 28. They won't trade 22. They'll take somebody.
My favorite team in the whole NFL.
They're gonna go wide receiver.
Well, when you trade the league's best receiver, that's probably a smart move, is to go and draft one instead.
Yeah, I mean they have to go with a wideout, honestly, because they have the ghost of Randall Cobb. Olave comes off here.
You think Olave comes off?
I do.
It's not a bad pick. He played well at Ohio. Ohio
I mean,
State. I have to be politically correct. It's Ohio State.
he's number 3.
Yeah.
On the board, and we already got Williams and Burks off the board.
Yep, and Drake and Garrett.
Yeah,
top 5.
So I think they go wide out. I mean, they need it. It's again, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and when he has time in the pocket, magical things do happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. Just run.
I mean,
catch it. You lost Scantling.
You lost Scantling, so you have Randall Cobb, and I mean, I'm pretty sure they still have Rodgers, their tight end.
Yeah.
And I don't know who else. Oh, they got what's his name? They
still have Alan Lazard.
I'm pretty sure they picked up Sammy Watkins as well.
Yeah, okay.
But when Sammy Watkins is 100% healthy, he's good.
Maybe 5 years ago.
But I mean, there was 2 years ago when he was playing with the Chiefs. The year that they won, he kind of went off on a crazy tear, and then he got hurt.
Well, I mean, you have Tyreek, Kelsey, their whole slew of receivers that are just incredible.
Yeah, but
space.
But you, like I said, they've got the running back covered. Their O-line is still pretty decent. Their defense is
hit or miss.
I mean, you got Jair Alexander, who's been nothing but great for them. But I think they go.
I think
Olave here. Yeah. Okay. So we're in agreement there. 23 Cardinals. What does Arizona really need?
Linebacker.
Okay, I can get behind that. Because I mean they've got the quarterback. I mean, let's be honest, they're gonna. Ojobo comes off here. Yeah.
Even though he tore his Achilles, and probably won't play this year.
I mean, they still take him. They could, because he's that talent to where it's like you still have him in the coming year.
He was great, but my problem with Ojabo, and especially watching this team every week, is how is he gonna do without Hutchinson on the other side?
Right.
Because I think that's where that Michigan team did really well was they had Hutchinson on one side and Ojabo on the other. You had to pick one to beat you.
Right.
And whoever they didn't block usually succeeded.
Right. So here's my thing, right? Is they've got a pretty decent D line. Yes, they lost out on Chandler Jones, which really hurts them, but they still have a decent, D line. They have pretty good. They have decent linebacker play right now.
Right.
Their corners and safeties are pretty decent too. I mean, they got Budda Baker, one of the better cornerbacks in the league.
Yep.
So I could just see them like sitting a year on Ojobo, just to kind of like, what's his name? It's like when Dallas took that one linebacker, because he was hurt too, and they kept him.
Yeah.
He was he was the year that Miles Jack got drafted, I believe.
I don't even know what year that was.
I don't know, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But I think they sit on him because in Michigan you're the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
defensive heavy.
Yeah. So I think you sit on Ojabo even though he tore his Achilles. I mean, you get the 5 years out of him anyway.
Honestly,
or 4.
That one guy for the Rams, Cam Akers, came back. He tore his Achilles in July and came back to play in the playoffs. So
yeah, and he did
on
well.
How they treat it, he might be able to come back for training camp.
Right.
In 3 months' time.
Yeah. So I think
crazy,
I think he goes. I think he goes 23.
I can agree with that.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, America's team.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, America's team.
Crazy that you see their need is like tackle.
Shocking.
Crazy because of how purebred their O lines always are. I know they're just all injury prone. Do you think they go tackle here, O-line, or do you think they go maybe receivers since they got rid of Amari? Because I don't know if I trust CeeDee Lamb
So
and Michael Gallup.
so they have the 24th pick in the second round. I think that's where they go out and try and get a receiver in the second
Okay.
round. I
So are
think
you
they
saying
stick
that
to
they're going
O-line.
O-line?
Yeah.
Okay. So are they going guard or tackle?
I definitely think there's going to be more picks available at the guard position than tackle.
Okay.
But I feel like someone around the 8 to 10 slot in the overall for tackle is going to be a lot better production wise than what's remaining in the guard
So
availability.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and they might go with this. We've already got 4 off the board for tackle, but I think they skip over Bernhard, and I think they go Abraham Lucas out of Washington State.
Yeah, I could see them doing that, or a guy like Tyler Smith would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Except he was from Tulsa. I
Abraham Lucas,
It's horrible.
6'6", 315,
Yeah.
and he protects your front side for Dak.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Dak is terrible.
Wow. He's not great.
He's not. He's good, not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's healthy, he's been nothing short of great. And I think you got to get Zeke back on track.
Right.
You need him and Tony Pollard to kind of carry the load, so that way Dak can open up. And especially if you get a guy to protect Dak, his foot's not gonna stick out of his skin this year. So I think they go O-line here too. So I'm gonna stick with Abraham Lucas. They're gonna skip over Bernhard and go with the big boy out of Washington State.
I can agree with that.
Next team, Buffalo.
Oh, so
Buffalo.
I think they go receiver here.
Okay. You want to give me some insight on that?
Give some help to Stefan. Obviously, you have a great quarterback in Josh Allen. I ate my words on him because I didn't think he was good out of college, at least. And I think they're gonna give him a guy who is also probably gonna be doubted, just like I'm gonna do with this pick from North Dakota State, because I don't think that's a good school.
Christian Watson.
Yeah, or George
How
Pickens,
about,
one of the two.
How about I flip it 180 on you?
Okay.
And go. They're gonna go running back. Because
running back.
Devin Singletary is trash.
Well, he's not great.
I think they go with Kenneth Walker the third here. Go Michigan State boy.
I don't think Kenneth Walker's that good. He had one good season.
Or they go with Brees Hall.
Now, that guy, I can get behind that pick. Not Kenneth Walker. I can get behind Brees Hall. I heard a lot about him.
And he's got the Alvin Kamara background, kind of.
Yeah.
So, Brees Hall would be a great pick.
I would be more behind them taking Brees Hall than Kenneth Walker. I really just...
he's more of a player comp of
against Michigan. You sure did. But it was one season. It's
right.
Zach Wilson all over again. Zach had one good season at BYU. BYU. I get Michigan State is way better than BYU. But it's one season. It's a one-hit wonder, in my opinion. The fact that he's number 1 on this board is mind-boggling.
Right. But okay, we Brees Hall.
Yep, Brees Hall.
And don't know if you want to play or comp of Kareem Hunt. He may punt a lady. I don't know.
Oh, bad bounce.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hold the joke in. All right. So the next team we're looking at here is the Titans. You sure fucking are. I think that what they need to do is go with a wideout. You lost. AJ Brown is not did not have the greatest year last year.
He was also hurt.
Yeah,
Julio
you
spent
also
some
had Derek.
time off.
But Julio is also a shell of his old self.
Yeah.
You have Derrick Henry coming back, being 100% healthy this year.
God, is he scary?
He's absolutely terrifying, and you're gonna run the ball so much that it's gonna basically be free reign for your wide receivers when you throw the ball. So I think this is where Dotson goes,
Yeah. I think that'd be a good pick
or
for them.
like you just said, Watson.
Yeah.
6'4", 208. You're gonna have two big dudes on the outside,
Well,
and
that's where a
plus,
guy like John Mechie could come in, and so that you don't have two massive guys, you have one speed guy, a little bit quicker guy. That's where John Mechie, I think, could come in out of Alabama instead of Christian Watson.
yeah. Then you also have George Pickens there too, though. 6'3",
Yeah,
195.
I think they're all going to be taken pretty close to each other.
I see. But here's where Dotson is kind of, he's that small guy too.
Yeah.
But if we're going with what they really need, I think they need a big dude to jump over some guys.
Right.
So I really think this is where Watson really goes.
If he's not already off.
If he's not already off the board. I mean, but this is our mock draft. So Christian Watson.
Our opinions.
Yeah.
We can be wrong. We most likely are wrong.
I mean, what if we go 32 for 32?
If we go 32 for 32, I'm playing the lottery. I'm not kidding.
I mean, if we literally go 32 for 32, they better broadcast this podcast, dude.
I will play the lottery and maybe gamble on the entire thing.
Fair enough. So Watson's going to Tennessee. We're going to pick 27, and that's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
It's Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Okay. I can get behind that. I really can. So Tampa, they need a guard. They really do. So this is where they're gonna go with
Sean Ryan, maybe out of UCLA. Chattanooga. I'm sick with this mindset. I really am.
Yeah. What about
picking a guy from UCLA just over Chattanooga because it's better competition? I got to get out of that mindset.
They could also go with Dylan Parham.
Yeah.
He's the third best guard available. Because we already got, I'm pretty sure we got Johnson off the board and we got Kenyon Green off the board.
Right.
So I think they will go with 6'3", 311.
Yeah, big boy.
Dylan Parham out of Memphis, because Memphis has been actually getting better in the draft lately and actually producing people that are pretty decent. So your next Green Bay, they trade their pick. I really think they trade their pick.
That's fair.
Tyler Lockett will be coming to Green Bay in Seattle.
That's a bold move.
So Seattle is going to get the 28th pick here. And Seattle is going to go with Jermaine Johnson II out of Florida State.
That was a corner, wasn't
He's a defensive end who is 6'5" and 254.
Yeah.
So I can see them going defensive end here after they're getting their O lineman with the guy I said earlier. I don't remember what I said. Crap. But after O-line, sorry. After O-line, they're gonna go D end, and Jermaine Johnson II looks like a very, very, very good pick there. I mean, Florida State's in a tough division.
Clemson every year, except Clemson wasn't that great this year, but
taking him off. I mean, yeah, it's weird not seeing a Clemson guy in the top picks.
It's just a rough
So,
year.
so after the Seahawks pick, we go to
Kansas
back to
City for
back in
2.
Kansas City. I really do think Green Bay trades their pick.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't really necessarily need it. They're just going to win the division again like every other year.
Right.
I'd be stunned if somebody else, not Green Bay, won the division.
Right. So it says that they need wide receiver. They sure do.
Well, you trade Tyreek, you know.
Yes.
He was a cornerstone of that wide receiver room, and you trade him away, and now you need a speed guy.
Right. So now they've got Mecole Hardman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pringle, and then Mercedes. Right.
I believe so.
Scantling.
You got Valdley Scanding. I can't say his name at all.
So, I think this is where. Did we already say George Pickens?
We've thrown him around a little bit.
I think you go George Pickens here. Like we're gonna skip over the two very short guys, 5'11" dudes, and Sky Moore and Jahan Dotson. I think they go with George Pickens. They maybe go
I think
Mechie.
They go Sky Moore. I really do. Because he's gonna fit the bill. He's not as obviously Tyreek. His Twitter handle is the cheetah. It's literally just straight cheetah, no numbers or anything. Yes. He's quick.
He is.
Very, very, very few people can replace the speed that Tyreek has.
And the hands.
But I think with the build that Sky Moore is, I think he can fill partially of that role that Tyreek had on the team, being that smaller receiver who's good in the open field and can try and fill that role that was Tyreek's.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not going to. He's not that quick. He's not as quick as Tyreek. Nobody is. But
okay. I can get behind you. I can get you behind you on that one. I like that one. So let's stay in Kansas City, and I think they go defense on this one. Do you think they go D end or corner?
D end.
D end. So we're looking at here. You have, I don't even know how to say, Carla Fitz from Purdue. Arnold from Penn State, or Logan Hall.
I think
from
Houston. The guy from Purdue. I think they'll take George from Purdue.
Okay. I like that. And then we have the Bengals.
The defending AFC champions.
Super Bowl winners in 2023.
Okay, now you're out of pocket for that one.
They need corner help. Eli Apple is not the move, Chief.
He's really good.
Not the move. Sure is.
God, he went to a great school too.
Did we already take Booth off the?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, they're gonna go with the boy out of Florida.
I took him off the board too. We're done to Roger.
That's right.
Roger's the first one.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys. 5'11".
They're gonna take Kobe Bryant.
I mean,
that's his name. What do you want from me?
They could go with this Tyreek Woolen, 6'4", 205. Big man, big dude.
Yeah, I think this could. They don't have a comparison. I think if I were to compare him, it'd be like Quandre Diggs.
And Quandre Diggs
he was a receiver at Alabama. Nick Saban moved him to the secondary, and now he plays secondary for the Cowboys. So, or plays in the secondary, but
no, you mean Tavon. You mean Tavon, not Quandre.
Whatever defensive back got burned like for
Tavon
1,500 yards last year and had 12.
Stephon Diggs' brother. Yeah. Yes, Tavon Diggs. Because Quandre Diggs is on the Seahawks.
My bad.
Yeah, you're bad, dummy.
Well, he was a receiver at Alabama.
Yeah.
And they moved him out to DB, and now he just gets burned.
I think they go with big boy Tariq Woolen. 6'4". That's
Well, he was a receiver.
it's so hard to
they
pass
converted
up a 6'4" guy.
You're not wrong.
So hard because I mean, you're looking at Roger. He's 5'11". That guy's got to have some jump, dude.
Right.
He's got to have some hops. And I with the quarterbacks in the league, they can put it above you.
Yeah.
They really can. And I don't know if 5'11" gets the job done. And
It's like
I
me
mean,
going out there.
Kobe is 6'1", but Tyreek here has
Yeah.
3 inches
Yeah.
on him. I think the Bengals go with the big boy to help bolster that, and Eli Apple can get kicked to the curb.
Like he deserves.
Okay. So pick number 32, last pick of the draft, is the Detroit Cubs.
This is no, it's the lie downs. No, I unfortunately think they take Desmond Ridder.
The quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't be happy about it.
I
don't
could
think
see a
anybody in this
quarterback
city
going
would
at
be happy
32.
about it.
Probably not, but I could see a quarterback going at 32.
I mean, you have a second first round pick. Nobody in this, like I said, that blows my mind that they had quarterback as a need for the Lions.
Yeah.
You know, you might as well. It's a free pick. You essentially got 2 quarterbacks for Stafford in the long run.
Yeah.
And the number 2 pick that go along with it, just because you weren't good last year. Well, you were unlucky last year. I still truly believe they should have won 6 games last year.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a decent team.
Yeah, they're not. They're definitely middle of the pack team, not a playoff team, but they're definitely not worthy of the number 2 spot.
No,
because I
I
mean they
agree.
lost to a fucking 66-yard field goal,
Right.
NFL record by the best kicker of all time.
Yeah.
I literally waste
no.
a 5th round fantasy pick every year for Justin Tucker, and
I mean, who?
so yeah, that one you blow
wouldn't?
the Minnesota game. I definitely don't think they deserve to be where they were at number 2, but I think they do
But
take a quarterback here.
Desmond Ridder does sound good, or maybe no, Desmond Ridder.
I also
I'm
think
with you.
a Matt Corral wouldn't be horrible either. He had the potential. Obviously, he makes a lot of throwing errors. That's downside to him.
Right.
Real decision making. It's not his accuracy. It's his decision making.
I mean, it could go either way. I mean, we do know that Willis and Pickett are going to be taken at some point in the first round. There has never been not a quarterback taken in the first round that I've known of. Right. So
I think Matt Corral is just a gunslinger, to be honest. But like
Yeah.
I said, if he can fix his decision making, I think he might have a good potential. But I think the safer pick is Desmond.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. So that is
The first round.
our first round mock draft, the Canaan Day special. This will probably be the only football podcast we do for a while. I'm thinking.
Probably until training camp. The rest will be all baseball.
We really need to get back up on that baseball grind. We didn't do our recap of the last week, which we'll get to. We'll maybe combine 2 episodes. I don't know.
We could probably do a 30-second recap on some highlights. Cabrera.
Yeah,
but
I can get behind that. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll come back with you this weekend, give you a baseball talk. You know, we'd love to do that. And you know, if you're listening on Spotify, hit us up on Twitter and give us some feedback. And if you're watching on YouTube, you know, drop a comment, tell us how you feel. We love to see the feedback we've been getting. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. And do you have any last words to say, Dave?
No, I think that was a good one. The NFL draft is always an interesting time, especially now that they switch locations every year.
Next year's draft special will be better. We will be more prepared. But anyway, guys, thank you. We really appreciate you sticking it out with us. But until next time, we'll talk to you later.